Hello you guys, welcome back to another video. And first of all, I'm gonna have to explain what I'm gonna be doing today. I'm gonna start with explaining what it is that I'm showing you, and then I'll actually be showing you something. I joined this tournament recently with a bunch of people I met online. They have this Pokemon Showdown tournament I joined, and I joined that, and it's really fun. You can choose, like, draft 6 Pokemon. It's a really confusing system where you choose 6 of the Pokemon you want to use in different tiers, and you battle with them. And I wanted to show you the sets, because I'm also going to be uploading each individual battle I have in this tournament. So, I'm going to be showing you that. So, here we go. These are the Pokemon I drafted. I got Koko, Xurkitree, Gliscor, Minior, Flygon, Silvally, Forretress, Alolan Golem, Kamala, Pyukumuku, which I'm just a great fan of. Pyukumuku doesn't have any attacking moves, but still great fun. Poliwrath and Lantern. As you can see, that's actually 4 electric types, with the Tapu Koko, Xurkitree, Alolan Golem, and Lantern, and as well 2 water types as well. And so I don't have a really versatile team, but because I use them, I don't never use all 4 electric types in one battle. So, and I have both Flygon and Gliscor to patch up those weaknesses of ground, because Gliscor's flying and Minior's flying too, by the way, and Flygon gets Levitate. So I do not have a major ground weakness. This is my Tapu Koko set. I'm running Terrain Extender because I'm probably going to be running that Electric Surge into the Xurkitree and into the other mons. So I'm running Terrain Extender, and I'm running... Oh, this is not the edited set. I had Calm Mind here. And I'm running Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch, and Thunderbolt, running Fast Special Sweeper. I did have a different spread. I don't know where it's went. I had a little less speed and a little more defense, just so I could live some attacks. This is the Koko set. It's not the most amazing set, but I guess you're going to have to live with that. Then I have my Xurkitree set. This should be Thunder. I did these edits recently, and it's not going through. This is a Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Bolt, and Steel Glow set, and it's not running Scarf, but it's instead running Gracium Z, which, combined with Energy Ball, counter stuff like Mamoswine, counter stuff like, Palossand. It counters a lot of bulky ground types. With the Gracium Z, it even OHKOs, God, these edits. That should be there. I'm sorry, I did some edits yesterday, and they apparently haven't gotten through to the Showdown servers. Because I was running a different spread. I was running this spread. This is to run, to live specific moves from Garchomp. I think it lives Garchomp Crunch? I don't know for sure. But this is the Xurkitree set I'm running. The Tail Glow is just there so that if I have a good matchup or I lead good, then I can get the Tail Glow off and start getting a built-up sweeping combination with the Beast Boost. So this is my really solid Xurkitree set. Then we have the Gliscor, which is just a bulky Gliscor, just the plain old Roost, knockoff Swords Dance, and Earthquake Toxic Orb Poison Heal set. I run it bulky because I want to be able to stall out the countering ground types, because honestly that's an issue with the electric types I'm running. And I run this Minior set, which is reasonably bulky. It's Minior, so this is Minior Shields Up, but Shields Down has a lot more tankiness. And I'm running Shell Smash, Rock Slide, Acrobatics, and Earthquake, which Shell Smash just gives it straight up power, and that White Herb removes the defense losses. So honestly, that's amazing. Next up is my Flygon set, which actually runs Scarf, which... It's really fast when it runs Scarf in max speed. It's actually 300 speed with the 300 speed with the additional choice Scarf, so it's really fast. And with that base 100 attack, and that turns into reasonably solid attacking stat, in combination with the Earthquake and Dragon Claw for stab, and Crunch and Thunder Punch for just plain coverage, can do a reasonable amount of damage. And I guess it's not bulky, but it's not a bulky Flygon set either. Then we have my Silvally, which is actually Swords Dance, Return, Crunch, and Ice Fang, which is running Life Orb. I have thought of a lot of Silvally sets to run, and this was my personal favorite. I tested a lot of them out. If you guys really want to, I can show the other Silvally sets I worked with. The same goes for Kamala, which will be coming up shortly. Next up, the other one is Fortress. This is a personal set of mine. Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks, and Rest with a Chesto Berry, just running straight up defensive EVs, because not a lot of people run Rapid. I actually don't have a Rapid Spinner. Not a lot of people run Rapid Spin or Defog nowadays, so I run this really heavy hazard Pokemon. And running the Sturdy ability means you usually get 2 or 3 hazards up, which is really honestly worth it. We also have the Alolan Golem. It's Alolan Golem has this really good offensive stat in combination with Galvanize, which means this does damage. And I'm running Air Balloon just to counter that ground weakness again. Most people don't, but the Double Edge, the Stone Edge, the Earthquake, and the Explosion just do so much damage. You can run a different move. You can run Brick Rake. I think I tested it, but I like the Explosion just for straight up OHKOing everything. Because Explosion, Galvanize, Golem in Electric Terrain does a lot, like actually a lot of damage when you're running Adamant Nature and Max Attack EVs. It kills pretty much anything. We have the Figi Berry. Surprisingly enough, I decided to run Figi Berry on Swords Dance. It's not God, why does it say Amnesia? Look, it doesn't even get Amnesia, I think. Let's quickly click the... I'll show. It doesn't get Amnesia. It's not supposed to say Amnesia. This wasn't the set I ran. I ran Swords Dance... I ran Swords Dance, Stockpile, Earthquake, Return. It's reasonably bulky with the stats, but with the Figi Berry, it restores a lot of HP and can't get status. So with the Stockpile, it can get reasonably bulky, then get attack and just damage. I think I ran... What did I run? Was it not Cron? No, I ran something else here, but I didn't... Yeah, you can run play... I think I'm going to run Rapid Spin, actually. I'm just going to change it now. I'm going to run Rapid Spin, just getting the hazards away. And with the sword, it's a reasonable mon. Next up, Pyukumuku. This is obviously status only. I'm running Mental Herb just to get the counter taunts and taunting the taunt. So if they have taunt, I can first get hit into the Mental Herb and then counter taunt it. Toxic, just to get everything toxic. I'm not running Soak, surprisingly enough. I'm running Light Screen instead. So it gets walled out by Steel types and Poison types, but... Honestly, I can PP stall them with Recover and stuff. So I'm not honestly too afraid that I'm going to get walled out on this Pyukumuku set. And I have plenty of other counters. I have like some Earthquakers for Steel and Poison types. Next up, this set has really saved me. The Water Absorb over Swift Swim because I'm not running any rain setters. I'm not running Damp because it's not really useful. And just straight up the Water Immunity is kind of good. Figi Berry, Belly Drum. So Belly Drum halves your HP and maximizes attack stat, which is just... Honestly, it does loads of damage like that. And using the Protect, you can predict their moves. And in combination with the Figi Berry, you can get to... If you get to a quarter of your hit points, it restores half of your health. Meaning you go back up to 3/4. And you can pretty much sweep from there on with both Brick Rake and Waterfall, which I think is actually perfect coverage. I don't think there's any Ghost types Water Absorb, meaning you can hit pretty much everything. I actually did some calcs. This Brick Break kills Max Defense, Bold Nature, HP invested, Porygon 2 holding an Eviolite at any range. So that I really liked. And Waterfall just does really good solid damage with the fact that it's a water type. Next up, I'm running a really weird Lantern set because I'm running Specs and Volt Absorb's obvious. I have a few water types, so I want to get that electric weakness out of the way. Next up, the Choice Specs with actual max special attack on a Lantern means this Thunderbolt in electric terrain will do massive damage. It'll do really solid damage. And I just have some other coverage moves I can use. Ice Beam for freezes, Scald for burn, and Dazzling Gleam just because it's a reasonable move. I thought of a Hidden Power to run, like... just a hidden power. I wasn't really sure if I had to. I was like, nah, there's no reason to. So that I think I'm just gonna change it to Volt Switch. Dazzling Gleam doesn't really add it because Ice covers for the dragon. So I'm gonna change it to Volt Switch. Last moment. So these are the EVs I run. I'm not running really weird EV spreads. I didn't calc everything. I just calced a few things. But this is the sets I'm running. I drafted all these Pokemon because I kind of like them, and there is kind of a ground weakness, but I cover for that really good with the Xerxer countering ground, the Gliscor counters ground, the Minior counters ground, the Flygon counters ground. Poliwrath can really easily kill ground, same goes for Lantern, And my Alolan Golem, I think, runs. Oh no, I don't. I think I ran something on it. I don't know. I don't actually remember. But I'm not really afraid of ground types. So these are all the sets, and I'll show you some calcs that I did with them as well. So these are the calcs that really convinced me my sets were reasonably good, or at least the somewhat more weird sets. This is an electric terrain choice specs lantern thunderbolt against a specially defensive Wailord. Wailord doesn't have the highest base but has a 170 HP stat. So this really is a tanky Wailord set. And it actually OHKOs. Even if it had HP, like 100 HP IVs, it still OHKOs. Even I think at 200 it still OHKOs, and at 252 it's still, yeah. So even max HP Wailords, it OHKOs in electric terrain, of course. But this entire set's built on electric terrain, so this really convinced me this lantern set was reasonably good at doing chunks and chunks of damage. And even though it's super effective, most of the time, I'm gonna be getting a super effective hit with Lantern, being that its coverage is really, honestly, quite good. So, honestly, I don't think that's an issue. Next calc is the Galvanized Alolan Golem Explosion. This is a max defense, Deoxys defense, which has 160 base defense. 160, which is a lot. So, a Galvanized Golem Explosion in electric terrain, OHKOs. And that's not Choice Band, that's Air Balloon. That's at +0. So that honestly showed me the Galvanized Explosion. This is why I'm running Explosion. For like really tanky mons, I can just get 1 KO with Double Edge and then Suicide into the Explosion. Straight up, getting a second KO. So going 2 for 1 on my Golem. Next up, this is my Poliwrath set, which is my, what's it called? It's my Belly Drum Poliwrath. And Brick Break actually 3-hit KOs a regular Porygon, which is more than it can do in return if it doesn't run Thunder Wave. But more surprisingly, well, not really surprising, but if we go +6, it OHKOs, which I was really happy with because this is pretty much the most tanky you can get them. But even if we go 252 on the defensive stat, it still OHKOs. And this is here, I'll show you. This is Calm Nature, this is Bold Nature. This is the most defensive thing you have to counter your Poliwrath, and the Brick Break still OHKOs, but only barely. It's only 109%, but that's something that really convinced me that the Belly Drum would be really solid, because even with the Recover countering, it's not going to be able to survive, simply said, one hit. Even if I get paralyzed or something with Thunder Wave, I'm going to be able to get through this reasonably good. And next up, my last calc is my special attacking Xurkitree. This is Xurkitree in electric terrain. No modest nature. I'm running timid because I'm running Gracium Z. So I'm not running that nature, which actually matters. I'll show you. If we go to modest, I think it guarantees OHKO. No, 75%. But you see the difference. That's a really reasonably big difference. But honestly, right now, if this Ho-Oh were to run max speed, but not a speedy nature, I'd outspeed the Ho-Oh. And Ho-Oh doesn't have the most amazing speed, but that means I can reasonably outspeed most mons, at least the lower speed ones, and that's really good in my opinion. And that Thunderbolt still has a chance to OHKO, or at least do a really big chunk to this Ho-Oh. And if they are running this Uber tank with Life Orb Set, they're gonna take enough recoil from Brave Bird or Sacred Fire to die. So this really convinced me that this set would be enough to take out really strong tanks. I did the Grot here. I can show you. If we go to a Palossand, running a blank set, if we run the most specially defensive Palossand possible, running Calm Nature max, Special Defense max HP, we actually OHKO with the Energy Ball. The Z Energy Ball this is, look at this. I changed the base power because it doesn't have an option to Z move. So in electric, even if not in electric train, like this, even if no electric train, that still OHKOs the Palossand, which was really convincing to me because this really showed I could counter most ground types. I think if we go to the Hippowdon set, the OU mixed wall, this is the tankiest Hippowdons you see. Sometimes you see them with a little bit more, but let's go max the actual worst situation. In that case, it's an 93.8% chance to OHKO on tanky Hippowdon. And Hippowdon is known as a really, really tanky Pokemon, reasonably. mostly on the physical side, but it's not bad on the special side either, being that it has 108 on the hit points and 72 into the special defense. So honestly, this circuitry Z energy ball OHKOing is really, really solid. So that slack off and the stealth rocks won't be annoying me. Even though Earthquake in return actually has a higher chance to OHKO, I outspeed him by like a lot of points, like 160 points. So I'm not afraid of Hippowdon threats for my circuitry. Oh, this is a minus Earthquake actually. I'll show you the actual Earthquake. This is a positive Earthquake, guarantees OHKO. If it's a hardy nature, so no positive, it still guarantees OHKO on the Earthquake. There you go. So, the Hippowdon will OHKO in return, but because they outspeed, the energy ball actually takes out the Hippowdon, which is really honestly chill. That's honestly all I wanted to show you guys. So this is the UCC Champion League, as it's called, and these are my mons. And I know all of the UCC players will be watching this video and will now know all my sets and will be able to do their homework and beat me. But at least I'm not going to lose my first battle, because at the moment of recording this, I already won that one. And I'm going to just give some credit to my best buddy, Poliwrath, for getting a 6-0 sweep in the first battle. And that's it, you guys. Next video will probably be me showing you the battle where Poliwrath sweeps the world. It's a really nice battle.